Hello everyone, I have been using the Alcatel Idol 4S for the past 2 weeks, and here are the 4 things that I like, and here are the 4 things that I don't like about Alcatel's new flagship. Let's start with the bad news first. The 16 megapixel camera on the back is just mediocre. Taking multiple shots within a short period of time is almost impossible since the time it takes to get the shot off is the slowest that I have used in 2016. This also gets slower when trying to take shots while using HDR. Swiping between camera modes, which include auto, slow-mo, micro video, fuse, and manual, can also be a slow and stuttering process in my opinion. While the features are a cool add to the software, most of it is clunky and one of the worst that I've used. Can possibly be fixed by downloading a third-party camera app in the Google Play Store. What you can't fix though is quality. Let's put it this way. There is really no situation that this camera performs well in. In bright daylight, you can capture good detail with this high megapixel camera, but the amount of smoothing and overprocessing just makes the pictures look kind of fake. Colors are also not very punchy, and the dynamic range is just downright bad. Don't even get me started with low light shots. The camera downright struggles in low light photography, and I'm not sure if I'll ever get a clear shot when using this camera in the dark. It can't all be bad though, right? Well, the camera does have for 4K video recording, but so does every other camera out there, so there's no saving this phone here. The front camera is 8 megapixels, and selfies are much better quality than expected, but not better than that on the OnePlus 3. Where the camera quality suffers, the display picks it back up. Although they are not the clearest of photos, the 5.5-inch 2K AMOLED display on this device is actually one of the best I've used. It has great viewing angles and punchy colors and really performs well in the dark and direct sunlight. I'd go far enough to say this display is the best I've used and been able to test in 2016. This is a big jump from the 1080p display on the Alcatel Idol 3 from last year, and Alcatel jumped into the transition rather well. Speaking of transitions, let's transition into the second good thing about this phone. That is design. This year's flagship has upped its game from the mainly plastic build in 2015 to the metal glass construction in 2016. The phone has a nice heft to it and sturdy build. Everything seems to be uniformly aligned, and for the $340 price tag that I paid for it, I was rather impressed. The 2.5D glass also allows the phone to have a slight curvature around the sides and helps the phone fit nicely in the hand, even though it doesn't help that this phone is rather tall and wide. What doesn't make it the best for one-handed use, but it is definitely far from the worst. One big problem with design is the button placement, which shouldn't have been more than a thought out of when making this phone. The power button is on the upper left of the phone, which is really just out of the way. The volume rocker is also on the upper right corner of the device, which is also out of reach from time to time. Below that though is what is called the boom key. This is a programmable key that allows you to perform different commands like launch the camera or open an app with the click of a button. But since the button placement is so poor, your only really option is to program it for waking the phone, which is really only waking the phone since you can't program it to put the phone to sleep. But this is not the main gripe that I have with this phone. The fingerprint scanner on the back of the device is really hard to sense. Oftentimes, I am guessing to find its placement, and when I do, it can be rather slow to unlock the phone. It would have been helpful to have some type of indentation on the back of the device so that it could be sensed by my finger when trying to unlock the device. This would also help the speed to unlock time, because half the time I am searching for the placement before I can even unlock the phone. To finish with the design, the front and rear facing speakers are really good. These speakers are 3.6 watt JBL certified speakers, and they are really the best on any smartphone in 2016. They are loud and crisp at any volume and provide an immersive experience when viewing media content or gaming. What's really interesting as well is that you can hear the speakers with the phone facing up or down. That is because the speaker grills have openings both on the front and rear of the device, which was a solid move by Alcatel. Sorry HTC, but the new boom sound speakers are made by Alcatel. Enough with the exterior hardware though. How well does this phone perform? Well, I'm afraid this is another bad knock on the Alcatel Idol 4S. With the Snapdragon 652 and 3GB of RAM, I expected this phone to perform much smoother in the day-to-day tasks, and while it did, there were more bumps than expected. This SoC is supposed to be comparable to the 810 by Qualcomm, but it feels much more sluggish. App load times can take longer than you would expect, and the apps also don't seem to stay in the background as long in other 3GB of RAM phones. Games running pretty smooth, though, which can be a plus, but the overall day-to-day just doesn't seem to be par with other phones in this $350 and $399 price point. Powering the device, though, is a 3000 mAh battery, and with this much more power-efficient SoC, the 4X can last the whole day and then some. I never found an issue with lasting the entire day, and standby times are really something good. Not as good as the Huawei Mate 8, but really good. The phone also comes with quick charge enabled and takes 100 minutes to get to a full charge, which isn't half bad considering a 30% battery charge up can give you a lot of battery to work with. Well, we've covered 4 good and 3 bad things on this phone, but let's cover one of the biggest problems that this phone has. It's the price. This phone can be purchased on Alcatel's website for $399 and comes with some few goodies, which I will touch upon in a few moments. I purchased this device for $340 on Swappa.com, but I can't help but feel that even the $340 price point is too high. The Alcatel Idol 3 was released at a $250 price point, and it really checked a lot of boxes for many YouTube reviewers, mainly because of its capability at the price point. This year, the flagship got a price hike to $399, and I believe that this was a bad move by Alcatel. With phones like the OnePlus 3, the ZT Axon 7, and Honor 8 in existence, there is really no place for this phone. The only reason you would want to buy this phone is for the extras, which are actually quite good. It is about the cheapest way you can buy your way into a VR experience where you can get both the phone and the headset for $400 or less. The headset has an all-plastic build but feels sturdy and is not too heavy to hold. The experience is quite clear, and this is a real value for the additional $150 price tag. The headsets that come included are as good as well, considering that they are powered by JBL, but I couldn't find a way to have the right earphone fit properly with the included pads into my right ear. Also in the box is an Incipio case which adds good protection and a screen protector as well. At the end of the day though, you use the phone more on a daily basis than the added goodies in the box, and at the end of the day, the price for this phone is way too high. The last thing that I have not mentioned as good or bad is the software. This is because it really is a mixed bag. The software is based on Android 6.0 Marshmallow and really just has a stock feel to it with some added apps to add to the VR experience. The VR launcher is easy enough to use, and the VR store does come with lots of content for games and videos. There are also features like the boom key that can be useful if managed correctly, off-screen gestures like hovering over the lock screen to show notifications, and a double tap to wake and sleep function. They are all useful, but in the grand scheme of things are not much different than what is already offered by other carriers. So at the end of the day, the Alcatel Idol 4S does some things well and does not do some things well. But is this a weighted evaluation? That is up to you to decide. For me personally, I cannot recommend this phone as a serious buy above $300. The phone does not do enough to justify the price tag, which is a real shame since Alcatel could have really knocked it out of the park if it was priced below $299. Even if they had a phone only option, then there would be more value here. I'll be going back to my OnePlus 3 in the meantime while I move on to my next smartphone review. Which gets me wondering, what phone do you think I should review next? Or should I review something outside of the phone realm? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, be sure to click the thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button as well. I don't tweet much, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, then be sure to follow me on Twitter as well at the handle @NickHearnTV. Thanks again for watching this video review, and I'll catch you guys next time.